What's up, everybody? Episode 4, Yeee TV podcast, here with special guest, Johnny C. So real quick question, how long you been doing cocaine and fucking hookers for?
DJ Vlad.
I'm just fucking with you.
DJ Vlad entered the chat.
I'm just fucking with you. Hey, so real shit, man. Real stuff. This is a real special guest right here. Somebody we met along the game. And I was able to peep out his music through obviously the homie Prime the Goon out of Bassett. And I got a lot of respect for this homeboy's art and craft. Homie, real fan of the game, homeboy, go ahead and introduce yourself. Where you coming out of, and kind of explain a little bit about the name. Where you got it from.
Yeah. Well, my name is Johnny C from the 562 to the 323. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right there in Southeast LA. I live in Pico Rivera. That's my hometown.
That's right.
I've been rapping for a minute, bro. I've been rapping since like 5th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I started off as a battle rapper. First.
What were some of the? Did you watch some of the old battle leagues? I
used to. Like with Lush would host.
Like Grind Time.
Yeah, all that. Like,
oh man, hey man, when I dumbfounded, it was like one of the battle rappers I used to watch all the time.
Oh, word.
It was funny. Disaster was hard.
The Sword. I've always wanted to go to a Disaster.
The Sword. Rest in peace, Pat Stay. Man, it's just
my favorite battle rapper is Sue Surf.
Free my God, free Sue Surf, man, hard, man. So many battle rappers. Shout out King of the Dot. Shout out Grind Time, the Swim Team, Fresh Codes.
Yep.
The list goes on. Even the A18 Basement back in the days when we used to have that. What made you a fan of the battle art game?
You know what? I think what got me into it was like in middle school. I used to just pull up on people that would rap. And I'll just try to get in there and battle with random people. Yeah. And I would lose. In 7th grade, I did it again. Yeah. And like the older kids would always look at me like, oh, this kid again, Yeah. But again, they'll be like, oh, well, he's trying though.
What got you over the hump? What got you over the hump of because like you said, you started battle rapping, right? But you would lose. Right?
Yeah, I would lose.
What would get you out of the fear of losing and make you want to come back? Like what was that determination coming from?
I wanted to win, bro. I wanted to win, and like I was little. I was always looked at as little because all the kids that were rapping were like 8th grade going into the summer. Right. You know what I mean? I was like in 6th grade trying to battle. Like they didn't look at people didn't do that a lot, Right. And they saw that I kept coming, and in 8th grade I was just serving shit. By 8th grade I was serving shit.
Who were you kind of studying as far as like as artists?
I was listening. Well, you know what's crazy? My favorite artist is Akon.
Nice. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. When Locked Up came out, I was a different student of the game at that point. If you listen to the way Akon laid down that track for Locked Up, all the way he stacked the vocals, the way the ad-libs, just like he killed it, man. And people didn't see that point of Akon, right? They just saw him as like, oh, he's an R&B singer or he's a rapper. But when I really studied him, hey man, Akon is slept on. Ghetto's another song, man. Oh my God, these streets remind me of quicksand.
Yeah.
When you're
falling, that's why I be having like harmony in my street raps. Like people be like, "Why you be singing and shit?" I'm like, "Bro, I was listening to Akon, and all Akon was doing was gangster rap with the melodies." You know what I'm saying? Like if you really, he had everyone singing. Like he had everybody, moms, uncles, youngsters, older cats. Everyone was singing.
Everybody knows when Akon came out with Young Jeezy, Soul Survivor.
Yeah, no cap.
That was we were all singing to that.
Soul Survivor was a hard one. It was a hit for sure.
That's a good one. I like that. Akon is
people
not somebody
people don't expect me to say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that.
Never expect me to say that. They think I'm gonna say like.
But that shows what kind of artist you are. For you to look up to, be able to look up to somebody like that, and not just like the typical, Eminem, Jay-Z, whoop-de-whoop. You're picking somebody like Akon, and you're picking out why you liked Akon so much. You said because of the melodies, because of the storytelling. Hey, there's a song he did with Whitney Houston. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Akon did a song with Whitney Houston. It's called what was the name of it? Quote me if I'm wrong, but look up that song he did with Whitney Houston, man. Mm-hmm. Beautiful song. The way if you could compete with somebody like Whitney, rest in peace. Like that tells you a lot.
Yeah, his artistry is crazy. I remember it happened only because I was in 5th grade and I never had a CD before.
Like I Never Left. That's the name of the song.
Like I Never Left.
Like I Never Left. That was the name of it.
Yeah, I was in 5th grade and I never had a CD before. And then I got home from school one day and my mom gave me the Convicted album. and I bumped that until the freaking CD broke, bro.
And I remember go back and burning it again.
You know what's crazy? I should. Hey, you know what's crazy? I remember listening to the Smack That song.
Yeah.
And the Eminem part. I would rap the whole thing. Like that was like one of the first probably things I remember like rapping. Like I never, obviously it wasn't my lyrics, but I would just try to rap as fast as Eminem.
Right.
I was so inspired. I was listening to the whole Akon tape, so he was my favorite rapper. Right. But then I got into Eminem. That's why I found out about Eminem a lot, probably because he was on that tape. And then when that's obviously 8 Mile and all that, you know. And our time, like hip hop, like we appreciate old school hip hop, you know. Youngsters now, they like I do every music. I'm very versatile. Like I don't stick on one genre, you know. Like I can make auto-tune music, then make some underground, then make some mainstream, then I can make art, then I could sing to your girl, and then I could go back to gangster shit. Like I could do it all. But I feel like one thing that about nowadays, like they don't appreciate bars and like real hip hop no more. You know what I mean? Like they could only do it their little style. Like whatever. Like if they get into auto-tune music, that's the whole style they stick with. Like a lot of youngsters don't really try to like do everything no more. And like I feel like hip hop back then, like look at Tupac and Biggie. What are they doing? Putting girls on their hooks. Right. Like when do you hear these fools put girls on their hooks? Never. Like that's classic music though. Like
I was just thinking that. Hey, look, shout out to obviously your homeboy too, Genesis. Because one thing I do respect about Genesis is like how he's able to bring like that melody, that singing stuff into like some hood tracks, you know? Yep. And I feel when I was listening to some of his stuff, I was kind of thinking that like, when's the last time somebody dropped like an R&B singer or any type of singer on a hook, on a chorus? You know, shout out to the new little homie, to the homies that are looking to start rapping, like Little Active from Langdon. I was listening to his stuff. He was rapping with his boy Little Boogie, and it's like what you said. It's just kind of like, hey, the homie is good. You know, his tempo is good. His cadence is good. But it's like you could see how like the new generation gets caught up on the one syllable bars.
Yeah, the simple.
You know, like just one syllable. Like it's just like I'll put this gun in your face, phase, game, wave, mace. You know, like it just kind of like stays there, so it keeps it in a box. You know, do you ever see that and be like, I want to be better, I want to be different, and how do you do it?
Okay, so one thing about me, like being that I was a battle rapper, I got accustomed to like bars. You know what I mean? I got accustomed to bars. So like I used to always write verses, like because when I was a battle rapper, like it has to go back to the battle rapping stuff. Like after I left middle school and I got into high school at Rancho High School in Pico Rivera, I started battling everybody. Like we would pull up on you like at lunchtime with the squad and we'd be like, "What's up? Who rap? Who rap?" The fools would be like, "I'll be that one fool in the squad." Oh, me. I'll be like, "All right, let's battle." After school was good. After school, we'd make a freaking big circle. It was like,
and just get
like literally, we would always do that. Like we'd do that after school. We'd do that at PE.
Were these acapella battles or like
acapella battles? No beats, just talking shit. Honestly, it all started off talking shit. Like, honestly.
Do you ever look back at it and think like, "Damn, how ass was I?" Or do you like, "Damn, I was pretty good"?
I think I loved it because it was more like just funny food. Like battle rap, it was just funny. Bro.
Oh yeah, especially if you got somebody that's like a comedian / very clever with his words.
Yeah,
you know, like Dumbfounded. Like I was telling you earlier, part of Grind Time and shit. Dumbfounded was just like he was always funny. Yeah, he was always funny, and it just keeps you.
You gotta keep the crowd. Yeah, if you keep the crowd, you keep the crowd. You know what I'm
and Disaster, shout out Disaster. He was able to do like both, where he could be funny but be aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, he's all like, "Oh, fuck your mother, uppercut her, what the?" Like, oh my god, like,
uppercut her, leave her in the gutter,
leave her in the gutter. Yeah, like, oh god. So it's like I kind of see like now what you're saying by like, you know, those dudes, like you had to come up with like clever rhyme schemes and all that. So like that, being able to implement that into a song, kind of like, do you feel like brings flavor to it, puts a little more sauce on it?
Yeah. So after like so I'm telling you, like I was just a battle rapper in high school. We battled everybody, won everybody. I was killing shit in high school. Like, I was always that rap. I was the kid that rapped in high school. Like if you see me, you're like, "Oh, that's the kid that raps." Like everyone knew me. Like I would always put myself.
Did anybody
out there.
That was rapping with you? Did any of them end up like kind of making it with something? Or they all kind of
honestly, everyone from my high school that raps, they kind of all make like underground like rap. You know,
like boom bap.
Yeah, like boom bap. No hate on that, but it's just they didn't really try to make like more mainstream stuff,
and they don't care to either.
Yeah, and I probably don't care to. You know, and that's fine. You know, everyone like underground. Hey, I came up from underground. You know what I mean? But I switched my style. I try to be mainstream. I try to do a lot of stuff because you know I'm trying to get the bag off this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta feed my family and all that, but. That's why I feel like you gotta like be comfortable being versatile and all that, and like because you can't like if one lane doesn't work out, maybe this one will. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, you don't know who's gonna walk in that studio and offer you an opportunity. You know, it could be a reggaeton artist, it could be a country artist, it could be a a fucking a drum and bass artist. You know, you don't know what.
You never know the opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what it can be.
Yeah. So like when I was like a junior, or no, that wasn't a junior. Tripping. I was a freshman, right? When I was a freshman, I walked into a class, and there was 3 kids in the class. It was an elective class, and it was like a computer class. And there was 3 kids in the class. 2 of the kids made beats, and 1 of the kids rapped.
Got it.
Like, what's the odds that I end up in that class? Right. The whole school, you know what I mean? So I literally walk in the class, and I see some kid on a mic, and he's like, "Yo, like," he's like, "You make music?" Because I do. I rap. He just started telling me all this stuff, like randomly, like it was trippy, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do. I freestyle." And I just battle rap, bro. I never got on a song, you know?
Right.
And I was acting like I knew how to.
What was your definition of freestyling? Writing something, remembering it, and being able to spit it back, or actually repping something off raw at the top of your head?
At that time, when it was battle rap time, I didn't make songs, bro, so I never wrote verses yet like that. I literally just spit.
Off the dome.
Off the dome, like that was the thing. So at that time, I acted like I did make music because this was making music. So I was like, oh, yeah, like I'll do that. Yeah. You know, but in reality, like I just would freestyle, but it would work for me, so I spit. Right. And he was like, hey, bro, you dope. Yeah. And then homeboy had a homie. He's like, hey, my homie right here makes beats too.
You remember what you rapped that day?
I said something about. I remember I said something about 7-Eleven. I remember I had like a 7-Eleven bar. I always remember because the homies were saying it that day. Like that was. I think it was like I get a blunt. I think I'm faded as heaven. I'm about to get the munchies at the 7-Eleven. Like some high school bar, like some high school bar like that. Yeah. And I remember like the homies were like sick because there's a 7-Eleven next to the high school right there in our rancho. There's a 7-Eleven on Washington. And that's what I was talking about when I was freestyling. And then after that, I made a song. And after that, I found an engineer in high school that he showed me how to construct a song like the right way.
How to actually format it and everything.
Yeah, the verse, hook, bridge, all that. You know what I mean? Counting bars. Learning that sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it, which is a big thing. Because I could say homie, or I could say homie. You know what I mean? Like every little thing that you do when you rap, it could change the vibe real quick and make the song better.
And that's a beautiful thing because you want an engineer to be able to give you game like that. Because there's some engineers that'll just record you.
Yeah,
just
a lot of people just want money. You know,
and like shout out my boy Stretch because there was a time like he was recording one of my songs and you know he's like he goes, change it the way you say it. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it is like you could just like swang a word differently, you know, and it changes everything. You know, who do you feel was like that person to you that was just like nonstop, like kicking you game and being like just constantly like, hey, do this different, do that different, hit this cadence, hit that tempo, try this and try that. Like, who was the one that was always pushing you?
You know, it's crazy because I feel like I'm the one that kind of inspires like all the homies, like type. Like when about making music and stuff, like I make lyric videos besides making music. Like I edit all my own videos and stuff, and I showed all the homies and everyone around me that makes music how to do it. And like they kind of like I always see them inspired to want to make videos when they're with me. Like when the homies link up, they're not like, hey, let's go smoke and drink all the time. They're like, hey, bro, let's go shoot content. Right. Let's make videos. They know when they get with me, we're finna do something productive.
It becomes an addiction.
Yeah, it does. You get addicted. You get addicted, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful addiction because you're addicted to promoting yourself. You know what I mean? Like
and creating something.
Yeah, and creating something good. You know, and like it's funny because like how we're talking about who inspires. Like it's funny because. Like the homies will tell me like, hey bro, like your rap shit hard as fuck. Like, what's up with all this singing shit? Like, what's up with all these melodies? You know what I mean? And you know what I hit them with some real shit. This is some advice for every artist right there. Okay, yeah, your homies like your raps. They think you're dope, right? You want 100 guys at your shows or you want 100 girls at your shows? Yeah, exactly. Now really think about that question. If you make type of music you make gangster music and shit, guess what? There's gonna be 100 goons in your shows. Yeah. Or do you want to make a couple love songs? Maybe Mountain Out, there's a couple goons, a couple girls. You know what I'm saying?
You know who was a great example of that, of a person who could make a hood track but stuck to like what attracted the women because he understood like what brings the women will bring the men was Pitbull.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Homie, like the homie didn't care about dudes, but he wasn't on soft punk either. But he just knew.
People was talking fools out and shit on stage.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He was a real Cuban, man. You know what I mean? Like, he was a real Cuban, bro. Yeah. Like, just a stand up dude. But the thing about it was like he was able to understand like, I don't need to attract men or like get these guys happy and all that. I need to get the women because the women's what's gonna get the men over here. You know. So do you feel like you kind of took that same approach as well? Yeah, and honestly, like I feel like the more women listen to your music, the more people take it more serious. I feel like when you have women listen to your music, that means you probably made like a more soft spoken type of music, a more like something more like a vibeful. What's your most notable like girl track? Like
probably my Sucker Free song. I did a song with Sucker Free. It's called "This Is Not a Love Song." but it was a love song. Everyone be telling me like, "Hey, bro, it is a love song." I'm like, "Bro, that's the whole point, bro." You know what I mean?
What's the track that you did that was like, damn, I didn't think it would get the reaction it did, and like it kind of went off.
It went off. Man, you know what? I feel like it's either the Sucker Free song or the Problem Lagoon song. Fuck rappers, because people come up to me for either of those. They be like talking about, oh, you know, but you know what's crazy? Like the girls come up to me more because of the Sucker Free song. But the Problem song, I get a lot of older cats, like random street cats.
I like how we film fuck rappers, like it was so raw. On the spot.
That was a dope day, bro.
It was so on the spot, you know.
It was a dope day.
And who were some of the notable features or artists that you've worked with so far, and which one was one like, damn, that's cool, I was able to do that one?
You know what? I think I've worked with a couple artists. So with I got Zoe Sama is probably my biggest artist I work with.
Dope.
And then I got
super dope.
I got a Doughboy 909 feature. I got a Swifty Blue feature. I got a Lil Bouncer feature.
Lil Bounce from Gardena.
Lil Bouncer, I think he's from Palm Springs. North Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I'm thinking of Baby Bounce. My bad. Shout out to Baby Bounce. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gardena. That's Gardena.
Yeah,
shout out Baby Bounce. Baby Bounce hard. Anyone Baby Bounce too.
Yeah. Shout out Cujo too.
Who else did I work with? That was probably like my most notable ones. And I would say my favorite feature that I got probably was the Zoe Sama one, bro.
Zoe Sama, how'd that one come about?
That was a vibe, bro. Basically, my homie had a homie that was linked with him, and it was fresh out of I think it was EDC. No, not EDC. What's that festival everyone does?
Nocturnal?
Not Nocturnal. No, it was a rap festival.
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud. Yeah. So he was fresh off of Rolling Loud, and they said he was coming, and my homie had picked me up and was like, "Hey, bro, we're gonna go to the studio with Zoe Sama." And I looked at bro, and I'm like, "You're cap, fool. We're not going to the studio with Zoe Sama. You're lying, fool." I didn't believe him. And sure enough, dog, I pull up. Fucking Zoe pulls up. It was cool, dog. He had a bottle of tequila and a bunch of Coronas, and it was a vibe, bro. I was like,
you need to bring to a studio with a bunch of homies.
He was cool, dog. He was cool, dog. He was one of the coolest artists to work with, bro. Like, you know, he's very he catches the vibe real quick. You know what I mean?
It sets the tone.
Right. Like, yeah, that was one of my favorite features.
Who was one of the ones that you worked with that you felt like was kind of like pushing your hustle to the limits, you know, pushing your pen to the limits? Like you kind of felt like, oh, you got me, I'm gonna have to come and get you.
I think my favorite feature besides the Zoe Sama one is Sucker Free, because me and Sucker Free did 4 verses on one song, and it was an old school beat, and people don't even do that no more. You know, people don't even do 4 verses, much less on an old school beat, much less no hook, just us both barring out. Like, that was cool. Like,
that's dope.
It was cool. And like how it came up was trippy. Like that song actually has a crazy story, because when I wrote it, I was young when I wrote it, right? So I wrote the second verse when I was probably like in high school, like when I was like a sophomore type shit.
Right.
And when I wrote the verse, I never thought anything of it. Like I wrote the verse, forgot about it, and then like one day, like recently when the song had came out, I had posted the freestyle that I had to it from high school, like way back, like before I even knew how to edit videos, before I knew how to put the words on them and everything. Like it was just like an old freestyle. And I posted it, and Sucker Free had slid up and was like, "Oh, fucking, like, let's make this a song. Like, let's get this." And in my head, I'm like, "Damn, he likes this. Like, it's so old." You know what I mean? But I was like, "Shit, if he fucks with it, I'm down, right?" So I go to the studio session to meet him, and when I'm going, I'm like, honestly, like, I don't even fucking want to do that verse no more. It's so old. I was like, "Fuck it, let me write a verse while I'm going to the session." So I wrote the first verse while I was going to the session, because I was inspired that I was gonna go see him, and then they make the song. And then when I got there, he was like, "Hey, he had told me, like, do you have a second verse?" And I was like, "Perfect." So I made the first verse that I wrote there. It was the actual verse when I wrote that day. And then the second verse is actually the verse from high school that he liked. So it's crazy. I never do that. I always have whatever I wrote.
But you felt like that day you got your money's worth. And you
for
were
sure.
Like,
I got, you know what's crazy? That's the most views I got on YouTube. It was probably like, I mean, I got more views on Instagram. The most I hit on Instagram is probably like over like 100,000, 180,000, I think, on like a reel.
Right.
But on YouTube, the most I've ever gotten is like 20,000 with the Sucker Free song. But it's a remix. It's a remix. So I didn't get no money.
It's hella crazy, right? I was just thinking about this when you said reels. it's crazy. So when I was like in high school, right, and dudes were the dudes that were kind of like rapping back then were like, this is when Rob's the One was rapping with like Big Sipes and Hectic the Loke was out here, and there was all these dudes, but these dudes were literally pushing it out the trunk.
Yeah.
Like that's when they were still slanging CDs, you know? And I think about it now, like when you said like I get 100,000 views off of Reels. And now it's like the market has changed. It's gone from like you gotta push a CD to get a hustle on to now it's like it's all social media moves,
facts.
You know? What do you think has been like the biggest success out of your artistry? And like what's an advice you could give to some of the younger artists that you feel would help them?
So the best advice I could give to any artist, and if you know me, you know that I always express everything that all the game I ever give is from the heart. Like I've always been the type of person, like when I get features, I always give them the game that I already know, because the game I get is from other artists anyway.
Right.
So I just pass it on. Anything I always learn. Whenever I go to a studio session, I learn, bro. Because everyone raps different. Everyone layers themselves different. Everyone does different things. Some people don't do ad-libs. Some people do ad-libs. Some people do dubs. Some people do dubs. Some people don't do dubs. Right. Some people do 4 dubs. Some people do 6 dubs.
Or harmony stacks
and then
shit,
people do different shit. So you gotta be a student of the game and learn every time you go to a session. You know what I mean? So one thing I'd always tell people, when I used to rap, and like after battle rap and I started making songs, I was on SoundCloud. I didn't know how to make no money off of it. I didn't even know about nothing. I just would rap. I was just rapping. I was happy that I get 1,000 views. Like, damn, I don't even know 1,000 people. 1,000 people listening to me a song, cool. And SoundCloud was free, but we didn't make no money off of it. So one thing I learned is after I started rapping on camera, I would notice every time I put a freestyle, I would get no love. The moment I put lyrics on it, bro, it changed my life, bro. Right. Because the moments I put lyrics on it, I feel like older people started listening to my music and younger people. Because if you ever notice, like I'll give you an example, like if you ever showed your parents some auto-tune music and they're like the older heads are like, what the fuck are you saying? Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The level of noise frequency off the auto-tune, it just throws them off.
Yeah, it throws them off.
Yeah.
But if you put the lyrics on it, all of a sudden they're bobbing to it because they're tuned in.
Right.
They're watching it, you know? And then, so one of the biggest thing, obviously, is doing the lyric videos. So nowadays, like I talk to a lot of, I have a lot of people that market, like friends and stuff. Right. And like I have one of my manager, he owns a marketing business. And one thing that he started telling me that I was already doing, I was ahead of the game, I didn't even know, is that labels are looking for reels now.
Yes.
They don't care about your music video.
They want social media creators.
They don't care about your music video. We all watch music videos. We love music videos. But at the end of the day, I could put out 8 reels to your 1 music video. You know what I mean?
Because the more of an algorithm your channel catches, the more advertisements they can push through there and generate more money off of.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I fucking want 1 million music videos. Right. But if you're really making music like the way I'm making music, you're dropping song after song after song. All the time, bro. Like, you're going to have to do 1 million videos, bro. And if you could do at least 3 reels to 1 song, that's what they say. You have to promote yourself. Yeah. At least 3 reels to every song.
Something that could be so simple for somebody just to share it on their story. Yeah. And it generates a view. Yeah. It generates a share. When you start doing that, you start catching the algorithm, right? You start building an algorithm. Next, you know, you're at the level of other celebrities and artists, and now labels are looking at you like, hey, let's try to get this page signed so we could start pushing advertisements, our other stuff through this, you know, because obviously it has a certain amount of traffic, right? I don't know. To me, it's crazy because like it feels like it wasn't that long ago when you really had to have a street team that time, you know. And now it's like you don't even need a street team. You can just have a good social media. You can have a good social media person that really knows how to promote your stuff, how to push your stuff, how to push your music, how to promote your music, and that's good enough. Yeah, like a beat good enough, you know. What's a big flaw an artist can have? And also, how can they stop them from working with other artists?
To me, like what'll make me stop working with other artists is inconsistency. Like if I see like you're not taking it serious, if I see that you're not trying, like if I gotta like I have a lot of homies that rap and I try to push them as much as I can, but we already know like if we have to tell you to rap, like you obviously don't want it enough. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You don't. Like, if it's not in you.
Yeah, it's not, like no one tells me to rap, bro. No one tells me to write songs. No one tells
so natural.
Like I just do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You should just want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's with anything in life, bro. Music is like anything in life, bro. You just gotta be consistent, bro. You want to be a doctor? You better go to school. You better be consistent. You wanna be an astronaut? You gotta go to school. Be consistent. Everything's be consistent. You know what I mean? Anything you want to do. Rapper, singer, guitar player, anything you want to learn. You know what I mean? You just gotta be
especially consistent. In an industry that's so saturated and there's so many people trying to break through. Right? It's like what's gonna make you different? You know what's gonna make me gravitate towards you? You know, what's gonna make me be like, oh, let me actually take an interest in you, right? Because there's so many. I'll be honest with you, like there's a lot of times when people refer music to me, and it's like I listen to it, and I'm like, I've heard this like 10 times already.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
same
like,
bars,
same thing, same cadence, like really, really little effort. You know, like I could pop you in the face and it's just like so like okay, like, when do you evolve? You know, and when do you become better than what you were? You know, do you feel like that's lacking in a lot of these artists, or do you feel like a lot of these artists just get really comfortable in the little success they get?
You know, I was gonna say when we were going back to like the making the song thing and all that. So one thing so since I was a battle rapper, I was already like used to punchlines. So I really got into writing verses. You know what I mean? Like I would write the verse, I would write the whole verse, I'll memorize it, and I'll spit it, and I'll be one take Drake and shit all day. Like if I had the beat and I wrote to it, I'm killing your shit, and that's how I would rap. Recently, since I've been doing that for so many years, right now I'm on some punching shit. So I've been punching in a lot. Right. So the difference between punch and rap.
Hey, respect. And I've been trying that out too. Yeah. How do you feel like that's helped you?
Okay, so this is my thing. I feel like it helps me because when I'm writing, I'm trying my hardest to come up with the hardest shit ever. And sometimes you're not supposed to try that hard. If you try too hard sometimes, like even with rap, like if you go in there and you mess up a million times, sometimes it's not your day, bro.
Right. You just gotta put it down for
let it down, smoke a blunt, come back to it. You feel me? Play the beat again. When you come back with a whole different mindset,
you'll kill it.
You'll kill it. You know what I mean? I've noticed that. I actually got that from an Eminem thing though, because Eminem said one time that if he goes to the studio, he spits it in one take. If he takes another take, you don't even do it. Right. Because he says that you'll never get the feeling in that one take that you got from that one time again. Yes. You just chase it. You just chase it and keep trying to get that take. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And so with the punching bars, so like okay, when I write my verse though, I could think of like double entendres, triple entendres, like we were saying earlier, like about Sunset. Like I could be like we're on Sunset. You could be on the street, Sunset. I could tell her mama that her sun's set, like her sun is set, or I could be like Sunset, like the sun is actually setting. You know what I mean? So that's three different bars. But so when it comes to that, like when I'm writing a verse, I could do that, and I find myself doing that a lot more. Like the pen game gets crazy when you're writing a verse. You have all the time in the world. But when you're punching in, you're just kind of thinking of that next line for that next word. You know what I mean? Like dog, fog, hog. So you're like, oh, the dog, what my dog's eating hot, like whatever, right? So you're just thinking of the next line constantly. So that kind of kills your penmanship and your artistry, bro, because you're trying to think fast because you got studio time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're worried about studio time. Trying to get the fuck out of here. You got shit to do, whatever. So you're punching in, right? But you didn't take the time to sit there, and you could have made a whole story. Right. I feel like if you're punching in stories, you're a dope ass artist, bro. If you can punch in a whole story and like make it like kill it, that's dope because that's some shit people usually write, you know, stuff like that.
You gotta actually put a storyline to it, and put a beginning, you know, an introduction, a narrative setting, and then a conclusion. You know, like that becomes a real screenwriter, you know, or somebody like that who could really write something. You know, I would say right now, like my big thing is when we have artists in LA that pop, right? This is why I always see like the struggle. Yes, we could stay in Los Angeles, stay in California and be successful. But I always feel like the lack of the comfort, the lack of wanting to go out and explore is what stops us from being bigger than what we are. Do you feel like that's true or not?
Stops us from being bigger than what we are. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to see,
because let's be honest, nobody in ATL, nobody in South Carolina or whatever is bumping West Coast shit.
That's facts.
You know, and that's very facts. I've traveled the country a lot. I've gone from here to Pennsylvania and back. I mean, like,
no one's bumping us.
Nobody in the Midwest, nobody in the South, nobody, as much as we want to think they are, as much as you might get a DM or two where somebody's like, hey, I'm listening to you in South Carolina. Yeah. I promise you, nobody's listening to the West Coast music other than the West Coast itself. Where do you think what do you think an artist can do for himself to branch outside that box and become bigger than that?
Shit, I think LA, we're so like, we're LA, you know what I mean? We're so like prideful, like we don't even care. Which is not a bad thing. We don't even care about like features in Atlanta or something.
We don't need it.
We don't need it, you know? And that's a bad mindset, you know what I mean? Like to be honest, bro, like I love features, bro. I love giving features, like, because it's a different experience, bro. Like I could rap with the homies all day. I know how they rap. I know how we kick it. But when I go rap in a different city, you know what I mean? Like I go over here, or I make a song.
And it's cool because you're not only that, you're a representative from your city.
Yeah, that's why I really love it too. That's why I got the shirt on. You know what I'm saying? I got Pico Rivera Times right here.
Shout out.
We don't even got a newspaper, but shit, we might one day.
No, that's one thing. That's one thing I would say. Like, it's a good and a bad thing when it comes from us from LA and all around LA. Is that yes, we're very prideful, and not only are we prideful, we're prideful from the certain section we're from.
Whatever city is pride.
And whenever we travel and we meet new people, like that's the first thing we let everybody know. What section you from? Oh yeah, we're from LA, but we're from this side. But I'm from that side, or I'm from here, and it's like, man, it's a beautiful thing, but I feel like it scares a lot of other people away because they're so like, oh, you guys are arrogant. Yeah. You guys are prideful.
But they don't understand. They don't live here, bro. We got little homies 13, 14 thugging it.
Is there what
it's
artists?
Different where we live. Like they don't understand why people are like that.
Exactly. They don't understand. Well, yes, obviously they don't understand because you gotta actually like look. It's not their fault either because they had to be here to understand. They had to live it to understand. They had to see like the culture we're brought up in. That's a very strong culture. Like us as Latinos, we're very strong people. And we're also very proud from that certain section we're from. We're
whatever
from
part of Mexico,
or even from Mexico, Durango, Jalisco, Zacatecas, or if you're Latino, I'm from Peru. I'm from Peru, or I'm from Costa Rica or whatever. Like we're just very prideful people. And I guess it can scare other people away. But if you could pick 5 artists outside of like California that you would want to work with, who would it be?
Yeah, that's a dope ass question. Hold up, 5 artists from outside California.
We could even do dead and alive.
Let me get a D Baby feature. I'll bless the D Baby feature.
Hard.
Let me get a Davies feature.
Davies? Shout out New York.
New York, you know what I'm saying? I'll get a Davies feature. I'll get a who else can I get? O3? But that's Cali.
You said O3 Giro.
I want an O3 feature.
Shout out.
Let me think.
I'll do a top 5 in Cali. Don't trip.
Cali,
I'll do a top 5 after.
But let's do outside. Okay. Who else is dope as fuck? I'm trying to think. I gotta think hard for this one. Lil Durk, I'll get a Lil Durk feature for sure.
Nice.
Lil Durk, I got a Polo G feature for sure. I just want to make music with Chicago. That would be sick, bro. You put me in this.
What about Chicago? What is it about Chicago that you kind of gravitate towards?
Okay, look, I don't know if this sounds ignorant, but just because I'm from LA, I want to see what these fools are talking about in their trenches. You know what I mean? Because it's different everywhere we go. You know what I'm saying?
And look, it's
Chicago,
not a bad thing
in the cold.
It's not a bad thing. It's just where we're from. We're the type like, hey, look, more action, less words, right? Like, and it's not a bad thing. We just want to see it for ourselves because when we do see it, we were like, damn.
Oh yeah, we want to go back to the city. And like, hey, they like that.
Hey, these motherfuckers are like that.
That's how LA is though. That's just how LA is.
We just want to verify it.
Yeah, we just want to verify. It's not because we're like we don't think you're thugging. We just want to see what our favorite rappers are telling us. We want to know. Like, is it like that over there?
Yeah, because look, there's a lot of things like we hear like us from LA in California, we hear things that happen like in Chicago and all that. Like when y'all be coming out with like 10 dudes and all automatics, getting it off in the hood and just like
shit. We're like,
just like jogging to the car and take your time to leave, and the hood hasn't even coming. I'm like, what?
Like we would have got the whole hood.
What? The whole hood would have been under investigation, homie. I swear to God, hey, the whole hood would be under investigation. They want to know where those big ass motherfucking straps came from and shit.
Cap.
So that's why we want to see it, because we're like, damn, y'all doing it out there like that, It's crazy, and we hear it through the music, like, to hear like King Von's music and to hear that King Von was who King Von really was, and actually see it,
his documentaries
on, it's like, damn,
that's crazy, huh?
That's crazy.
To have a documentary on you about
that's crazy.
Like that,
that's crazy. To pass away and then still get hit with 2 murder charges after that. It's crazy, dog. They always get that's crazy, So hey, shout out Chi-Town. I want to end it off like this. Well, real quick before we do it off, there was something we did talk off the camera. Shout out to a Valley OG rapper. Let's give him his credit. Let's give him his roses. Let's give him his credit. Self-Provoke, man. Self-Provoke's been doing it for a very long time, man.
Shout out SP.
Yeah, shout out SP, man. Hey, my fellow Peruano homie, shit. Much respect, brother. Straight out to Sun Valley. I thought the homie hit it big when you got that feature with Busy Bone. When that came out on YouTube, and we're like, oh shit, because I could tell even without meeting Self-Provoke and knowing who Self-Provoke is, that he mimicked a lot of his style from Busy Bone.
Yeah, I just met the homie Sloan Bone. The homie Sloan Bone. That's like his. He knows all them and shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I just met him. He was cool as fuck, dog.
How was it being around SP?
SP is a dope ass artist, bro. I was just in his last music video. We came out and he had a dope concept. He sat down in the middle of the video, and the whole point of the video was us to not look at him. Right. So like we were all doing things in our own section. So like I was like, the homies was smoking a blunt, the other homie was like acting like he's on the phone, like the plug or something. I'm right there spinning my little Gerby. You know, like it was a good time. It was a sick ass video, dog. Like it was dope.
How'd you even get to meet him?
Through Genesis. That used to be his manager.
Oh, okay.
So we had linked up.
Because I know So Provoke's doing the managing thing now.
Yeah.
Right. Which is cool. I mean, like, hey, to any young artist, come, anywhere, man. If you get managed by So Provoke, I'll tell you this. Like, I know there's a lot of things you can learn from that homie right there. Like I said, I never met him. I've seen him from afar. I've seen a lot of the things he's done. He's put together one of the best underground hip hop groups to ever come out of LA. You fools were hard. On a high note was hard. On a high note was hard. Infameezy was one of the most underrated producers. I swear to God, I remember Infameezy was one of the hardest underground producers and beat makers. Even as a kid in high school, when I used to put rhymes together, I always wanted an Infameezy beat. It was so hard. You gotta think of like who was part of that group. It was like the Wino. It was At Last. The kids from At Last, but one of them from At Last ended up becoming like a bigger artist, didn't he?
Word.
What's his name? Revere? No. He was the young one, the younger one, the skinny kid. Remember? He's Ono now.
Oh, okay.
You remember Ono?
I don't remember.
So there's an artist. I don't know if he's still popping, but he got really big. But let's give Self Provoke his roses. Yeah. Hey, you came from on a high note. And became who you were. I'm trying to remember what this kid's name is, but I know he goes by Ono now. He's a skinny kid, neck tattoo.
Word.
But yeah, man. I mean, like, what's some of the coolest things you learned from Self Provoke?
Just stay consistent. Stay consistent, pretty much. Stay consistent. Keep making music, bro. Keep making woke music. I listen to his music, bro. I listen to his music a lot.
A lot of good songs.
And every time he drops a reel, I'll be watching it. And I'll be peeping his pen, and I'm like, man, this will be saying some shit.
His cadence, his flow,
and it's crazy because if you don't know about real hip hop and bars and shit, you might listen.
You wouldn't
to that
understand it,
and you don't understand it because it's really a puzzle. Sometimes he's really abstract with it. Like his pen is abstract as fuck.
Right.
Like you'll listen to his shit, and it's really telling you something, but you're not hearing it, bro, because you're not putting the pieces together. You need to put the pieces together.
Do you remember the hip hop scene when So Provoke was kind of popping? Do you remember a lot of those rappers like Gavlin, Reverie?
Yeah, for sure.
Remember Gavlin, Reverie, Bell the Wonder,
the Cypher Effect.
Yeah, Germ Free.
Germ Free.
Germ Free, who's actually, I think she's with Lush now.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping.
That's his girl.
Yeah, I think I seen her at a concert. I was like, damn, she with Lush. It was that whole hip hop scene. Severe, who's actually I think it goes by Bronco now.
Word.
Yeah, I think that's Severe was also.
I used to watch all that in high school, bro. When all of them were in Cypher Effect.
It was hard to be on the Cypher Effect.
It was hard to be on the Cypher Effect, bro.
Hey, LA Icon came from the Cypher Effect too. Yep. Remember when the campaign? I don't know if you remember the campaign with D the Gray, Zapata the Ghost.
Zapata the Ghost, Zapata the Ghost is hard.
Dodger Blue. Remember all them?
Man, LA got real heavy spitters.
Slum the Resident was hard.
It's crazy because someone needs to put us out there. We need if you really think about it, we need more no jumpers. We need more than just one. We need a bunch.
That's what we got ETV for now, baby.
We got ETV, you know what I mean? But you think about it, there's so many artists that just stay in LA, bro.
This is why I want to get artists and I want to get people here that are from our section and from our area because I want to ask them the things that when I watch things like, hey, look, I'm not dissing no jumper, I'm not shitting on it. What I'm saying is I don't like our people going onto platforms and they're asked incriminated questions or they're asked things that belittle or kind of degrade us as people, they're not really asking questions to know the artist, who would really know Johnny C as far as his hip-hop knowledge if they weren't to watch this interview, not a lot of people would know. You go back to the battle
and I feel like you're more comfortable with the homies, you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of cool when the homies interview you because some people I like Negra. I know them.
Negra's interviews. If I could interview Negra, that would be fucking dope.
Negra's interviews are sick.
They're so genuine.
It's so genuine because it's the homies talking to the homegirl. So
she's just the homegirl.
It's just the homegirl. So it's I feel like the interviews are so real that. Because I stay watching Indicted. I love Indicted.
Is dope.
She's a dope host, and then the homies that go on there, I feel like a lot of them we probably would never have seen that side of them.
Yeah.
But because she was the hostess, like
she could bring out the goofy and the homie.
Yeah, she'll bring out the funniest because most homies be serious sometimes.
Yeah. But you got that one homegirl like, shut up, fool. Like, I know you. You know, like, okay, shut up. You know? So that's dope. Hey, shout out to Indicted TV, Nate. That shit, we could interview you, homegirl, have you on the podcast. That'll be dope. Even LA Icon, he was a part of like I said, the campaign. The campaign and had some heavy, dope writers. I mean, hey, LA Icon could rap back then.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he had some bangers back then, bro. He could really rap, you know. So I want to ask you a couple questions real quick, right? We're gonna wrap this up. And these are just kind of like little fast questions I ask in the end, you know, like if you were stranded on the island for about a year and you could only take 3 albums with you, what 3 albums would that be?
Bro, that's like the coldest question ever, bro. Okay, let me think. Best 3 albums. I'm trying to think. What album can I listen to? You
gotta listen to these for a year.
From top to end.
And it could be anything. It could be, like I said, hip-hop, country, R&B.
Okay.
Oldies.
Give me some oldies. Let me get like a Barbara Mason. Let me get
oldies.
Like
oldies. You always want oldies.
Just so like I could just listen to that. I could listen to oldies all day. So let me get some Barbara Mason. Let me get let me get Rich or Die Trying 50.
Oh, hey, that's the third 50. Hey, 50 Cent. I swear to God, you get so much love on this fucking podcast. We gotta get 50 on the podcast too.
We get the last one. This is the hard one. The last one. Do I want to stay rap? Because I went oldies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, but it has to be rap. I know I have to. Let me listen to Gangland by Johnny C. Let me listen to that.
There you go. Hell yeah. All right, if you could only take 3 movies with you onto this island for a year, what 3 movies would that be?
Oh, that's cold. Let me take the Bronx Tale.
Oh my God. Bronx Tale is my favorite movie of all time, homie. Bronx Tale? Man, Bronx Tale is the only movie where like a kid that grew up without a dad would understand what it was like being raised by 2 different men, right? Yeah, one man that was like embedded in the streets, right, and he was well respected, and then a man who was a hardworking man, and you could not respect him, you know, like so like, and then you get the kid that's torn between the two, but then the dad realizes like, hey man, I gotta let my son, you know, obviously have love for this man who also raised him too. Like I can't be mad at it, you know. Yep. That's a beautiful movie, man. Good pick. And what's your other 2?
Let me get I love that movie, man. I just watching it. Let me see. Let me get Training Day. Just listen to some gangster shit. Let me get Training Day. And then let me get Let me get The Little Rascals. I fuck with The Little Rascals.
Hey, you know how to sing like Alfalfa?
Shit, I wish I did.
You are so beautiful.
Hey, he got darling
to me. Hey, I wanted to be a player when I used to watch Little Rascals. I'm like, I'm gonna be just like Alfalfa, dog. I swear to God.
Buckwheat, remember Buckwheat?
Buckwheat. Hey, Buckwheat was a G.
What was that? What was the little white kid that would take out the lizard?
That was
Was that Buckwheat?
Buckwheat? Yeah, that wasn't Buckwheat, I think, wasn't it?
Was that the name? Was it? I don't remember. No, it wasn't. I forgot the name, but
he's like wrong side, Porky.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, look, I've noticed that I have ADHD so bad all throughout the day. I'm just reciting movie lines all day, you know. And I remember I was like, I got a pickle, I got a pickle. Hey.
They really put the sand, the other side of sand.
Hey, bro, I never wanted a sandwich so bad, and when I see that, I'm like, why is it so crunchy?
It did sound crunchy, huh?
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good fucking pick right there. Okay, who is the dream artist like you could collab with and be like, dead or alive, like that's the one person I would want to work with?
Okay, I think Akon for sure. I'll put Akon, but not just Akon. I'll probably like Akon and like maybe obviously Pac. If you got a Pac feature, like that's crazy.
One more, right?
Pac. One more. Let's do Dead or Alive. Big L.
Big L? Oh my God, thank you.
That's beef. It's like
oh my God, Big L is...
Big L, that's bars.
Man,
that's
when I was a youngster and I discovered Big L, bro, I was like, man, that man is such a... You know, like, fuck.
Cold. Hey, Big L was alive right now.
He'd be killing everybody.
The fucking bar would be set fucking high.
Him and Rakim are like the 2 that I would like love to work with, you know?
You know what? I always think like, how rap would be if Pac was still alive, Biggie was still alive, Cube, Snoop, everyone, while they're all alive. But like if everyone was just together still, like everyone was just like linked up in music right now, I wonder how rap would change. You think we'd still have auto-tune rappers and shit?
No, I think, I mean, everybody wants to be like, if there were, it's like, like, just like the homies, if the big homie was alive, this shit would not be happening.
Never happening.
This shit would not be going on. You could say like, hey, if these vatos were alive, like none of this would be happening. Hey, we don't know that. Homie. We don't know that. Look at this shit that's happening with Diddy. Like we didn't know this fool was doing all this weird shit behind the scenes. Diddy. Like, and how many of these other dudes have weird shit going on?
We're gonna find out who went to that party, fool. These fools are X'd out. Meet us behind the staircase.
We're gonna see who the real island boys are. We're gonna see who the real island boys are. You fuckers. Hey man, look, we're about to head it out, but just shout the people out. Shout out whoever you want to shout out, and also let people know where they could get you on your social media as well.
Yeah, my Instagram is JohnnyC562_. I'm about to drop an album. It's gonna be probably by next month. I'm gonna call it Voice of the Southeast. Shout out the homies KD. Shout out the homies Sire New Generation. Shout out No Shame. Shout out the Southeast.
There you go, 562.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, it's been a pleasure. It's been a beauty. I've had fun. I like it. I welcome you back anytime you want to come back, dog. I promise you, this is your house too.
Oh yeah, pop.
Other than that, man, it's the ETV podcast. It's another episode. We're wrapping it up. Shout out to all our sponsors. 818 Art Supply Store. If you guys want to be the next Picasso, hit up our boys over there at the 818 Art Store. Also, if you go upside somebody's head because they was not giving you the respect on your name, hit up my boy at Bailout Bail Bonds. They'll get you out the next day. Yeah, man, that's about it, man. Showing that, y'all have a beautiful day, and we're out.